What's up YouTube, and welcome to Road to Professional DJ. If this is the first time you've joined me, this channel is all about showing you guys how you can make it from a bedroom to a club DJ and following my experiences, challenges, triumphs and fails along the way in trying to make it as a professional DJ myself. Now, at this moment in time, I currently don't have any UK gigs or anything like that lined up. I'm at the very start of my journey. But I do have some experience behind me already. Now, all of this experience was gained while I was out in Southeast Asia. I managed to actually get the opportunity to DJ in 4 countries. My very first ever gig was out there, and that has sort of set me on my journey and my mission, which I'm now starting. So, the first time I ever DJed, the first time I ever stood behind the decks in a club was whilst volunteering at an English teaching school in Cambodia. Now, I know that's a bit of a strange setup to a story, but bear with me. We used to go out on a Wednesday night to the local club. Now, we would sort of stay out fairly late, or at least for their standards out there, quite late, sort of 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, the locals would sort of leave the club around 11:30, midnight, and all head off home. But where we were there was a big group of us, and for Westerners going over to Cambodia, we were a little bit flush as well. Their sort of style of business out there is if they're still paying customers, you keep the doors open and you keep the drinks flowing. So, they used to keep the club open just for us. Once all the locals had left, they gave a few of us the opportunity to go behind the decks and play a few songs ourselves. Now, at this point I'd sort of been practicing in my bedroom at home for about a year, so I could sort of DJ, wasn't prepared whatsoever to actually stand in front of a group of people and play some tunes, but it was a friendly group of people, all people I knew. It literally wouldn't have mattered if I went wrong, so that was my first ever gig. I managed to do that twice, and then sort of left and went forward from that moment. At the time, super happy about the experience, super happy about the chance I had to do that, but didn't think an awful lot more of it. Now, about 4 weeks later, I was in Vietnam and I got talking to a bar manager. The gentleman was telling me, we were just having a normal chat, and he was telling me how, unfortunately, his DJ at that moment in time actually was ill because he'd fallen off his motorbike or something like that, but he wasn't able to work. The guy that was standing in for him, it was just sort of a temporary job, and you know, things weren't going as smooth as possible, but you've got to sort of make it do. He couldn't afford to not open the bar at night, so we were just making do with what he had got. I told him that I could DJ, and literally he said, "Well, do you want to go?" So I just thought, bugger it, say yes to everything sort of attitude. I went up, luckily had a few songs downloaded that I already knew, and I played for about half an hour, and that was sort of what I really considered to be my first ever gig, or my first ever playing in front of a group of people like that in a nightclub scenario, because it was full of sort of 20, 30 people that I didn't know at all, but it went really well. So well, in fact, the manager asked if I wanted to play again the next night. So I did. I snapped his hand off at the offer. I played the next night. It went really well. Took the bar manager's contact, and the next day, unfortunately, I was leaving that town. So I moved on and didn't think too much more of it other than being really chuffed about that experience. Now, I had about another week, 10 days left in Vietnam, and I was getting to the point where I was sort of thinking about flying to the next country, and I thought, I wonder if that manager still needs a DJ. So I decided to send him a message, and luckily the bar manager, it's an amazing bit of luck I had actually on these occasions, but the bar manager was actually on holiday on the same island I was at that moment in time. So we met up, we had a drink together, and he laid an offer out on the table. He said, "You can come, you can live at the bar, I'll feed you, I'll look after you, we'll do day trips together, you'll be like one of the family, and you DJ for me for a few hours at night." So, snapped his hand off, shook his hand, and a few days later I was down in the area of Phong Nha, which is the part in Vietnam we're at, and I stayed there for 17 nights, playing every single night. So, not only did I get my first sort of proper gig out of it, I also got my first residency, which was really cool. Then, moving on, I flew to the Philippines and I toured around the Philippines for a bit, and I went to the party island of Boracay. Now, at this point, I had the sort of task in my head that, you know what, I've managed to DJ in 2 out of 2 countries so far. Let's try and do it for every single country I go to. So, the hostel used to have a few midweek events going on. They had a DJ coming in for one night. He was one of the guys that worked around the hostel, and I spoke to him. I told him I could DJ, and he was super happy to let me have a go. So, he played the first sort of hour and a half. I played the second hour and a half, and that ticked off my 3rd gig. Now, country number 4 was Thailand. Also, while I was in Thailand for this period of time, I had my birthday out there, my 23rd birthday out there. So, I decided that I was also going to try and set myself the challenge of getting a DJ gig on my birthday. Now, I did manage to do that. It took me quite a while. I was up at the area of Pai in Thailand, which is up towards the north. I'll go through this in another video, but I got turned away, got a few funny stories walking around the bars. I was just turning up at bars, speaking to managers, seeing what they would say. One manager actually told me he wouldn't let me DJ because I was white, basically, which is what he told me, which wasn't very nice, but that's it. That is what it is. But that was my fourth country, so I did manage to find a bar in the end, and I DJ'd on my birthday, which was a wicked experience. Super happy about that, and in the end that concluded that I DJ'd 4 out of 4 countries travelled to. Now, that was a little while ago. We're sort of at 8-9 months away from that now. But I am setting myself the goal now of really trying to get some gigs in the UK. It does seem like a lot harder work, but at this point of time I don't have any contacts or anyone I can go to and sort of find out how to get some gigs. So I'm going to have to organically work it from the ground up. So I just wanted to give you guys a lowdown on my experiences so far. And we're going to start to sort of pursuing things in different directions and seeing what can go on, and I will be documenting it all along the way. So, thank you for joining me on this episode of Road to Professional DJ. I hope that gives you a good background of where I'm at this moment in time and the sort of direction I'm needing to be going forward, and my experiences I've had in the past. Click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more stuff coming soon. Cheers now.